No, everyone appears to have died. This is terrible.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is live once again for another Fallout 76 video. So today I wanted to make a one-stop shop guide for everything there is to know about bows, a sort of ultimate guide if you will. I'll be covering the human playstyle, the ghoul playstyle, low health, full health, weapons, armor, really everything there is to know about a bow playstyle. I'm going to cover it in this video. If I successfully cover everything there is to know about bows, if you guys could please leave a like and a comment / subscribe on the channel, that would be greatly appreciated, as it lets me know that the content is what you guys are wanting to see, and it lets me know that the quality of the content is exactly where it needs to be. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So before we talk about any builds, it's important to understand the basics / essentials for any bow build. So bows are innately silent, making them great options for sneak focused VAC critical builds. So for that, we need to understand what we can do to crit every other shot. So if you want to crit every other shot, this is the luck you would need to hit those thresholds. And to circumnavigate this, you can use the Limit Breaker mod plus the Lucky 3-star mod for your weapon, and the values are as follows. The builds I will be showing in this video will be using one Limit Breaker mod, so you only need 28 luck to hit that threshold to crit every other shot. Here are the mod configurations you possibly want to go with. I'm going to be using 3 chameleon pieces. This is something that you will absolutely need, and we can talk about that a little bit later. And the agility and luck mods will be required, so look at those as they are listed above. The 3-star mod slots are flexible, so do with those as you will. It's really just up to preference there. Reflex is very strong on a ghoul player, so if that's what you are, maybe consider using that. So going ahead and showing off why 3 chameleon is actually necessary for any sneak focus build these days, I will show you a demonstration. So with 3 pieces equipped, I can sit here and turn on my Pip-Boy flashlight, which normally would automatically get me out of stealth, like they would be able to see me immediately. But when you have 3 pieces of chameleon on, you can have your flashlight on and nobody will notice. And you can turn it off and on, and again, nobody will even know you're there. If I left my controller sitting here for like an hour, I would come back and nobody would have still found me. So that's just, I don't know what it is, but you can only do this with 3 pieces of chameleon gear. And I have done thorough testing on this, so I'm not going to subject you to all that, but just know that this is hours of testing, and 3 pieces, it seems to be that sweet spot. So going ahead and taking off the 3rd piece of chameleon gear, I'm going to change it over to nocturnals, and then we're going to run that same test back, and you can see how much of a difference it actually is when you only have 2 instead of 3 pieces. Gotta take care of my friends here. They seem to have followed me to my makeshift camp setup. Alright, and now I'm back at the testing grounds, and I immediately go into stealth, and as you can see, no one can see me, or can they? They find me pretty quickly. So, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Usually when you sneak, you get your stealth field and they shouldn't be able to find you. But, they're able to find me when I only have 2 pieces of chameleon gear. That guy right there just ran up next to me, so it might have been why I was detected there. But if you have 3 pieces, they can walk right up to you and you will not break stealth. But when you only have 2 pieces, that's just not a reality. So, I'm back into caution, but the second I turn my Pip-Boy light on, they see me. Move a little bit, recrouch to proc my sneak once more, and it's just, it does not work. So 3 pieces is absolutely necessary. If you're not going to go 3 pieces, you could do the traditional full unyielding set, but I mean honestly, I feel like unyielding's not as valuable as it used to be, so going ahead and using 3 chameleon and then 2 of your choice just seems like it is the better option. At least going into 2026 with Fallout 76. And here are my recommendations for those 2 flex slots. Really, it's up to you what you want to pick here. Aristocrats and heavyweights / overeaters and mutants are all changes that are on the PTS server currently, and if they do go through, this is what the values for those will look like. Overeaters will go down to a 4%, so if you were using overeaters, you might as well migrate over to heavyweights or mutants, so it's really up to you what you want to do there. But these are my recommendations for those 2 flex slots. For the under armor, you're going to be using the shielded road leathers, or I think the raider one also gives the same bonus, so +1 luck, +3 agility, and +3 perception. However, this is changing on test server where they're going to be adding a new under armor that will make this one irrelevant. And as you can see on screen, this is the Under Armor in question. It'll be called Raider Style. You'll get it from Moonshine Jamboree, and it'll give you +2 Perception, 3 Agility, and 5 Luck, allowing you to have a little bit more flexibility in your perk points because you can move 2 over from something else, or 3 over, maybe 4. from luck to a different stat, since you'll be over the luck necessary for this build. Now that we've addressed the essentials, it's time to move on to the mutations, weapons, some perk card combinations you may not be aware of, and the legendary perks I am using for all of these builds today. So let's get right into that. The mutations for all the builds you will see in this video will be as follows: Herd Mentality, Marsupial, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Bird Bones, Speed Demon, Adrenal Reaction, and Herbivore, with the optional Scaly Skin. For weapon legendary effects, we're going to be looking at the 1-star effect Bloodied Furious Stalkers, the 2nd-star effect Last Shot Vital Vats Enhanced, 3 stars Lucky Hit, and for 4 stars Electricians or Pinpointers. The arrows you want to use on your bows are going to be plasma arrows, cryo arrows, or flame arrows. The flame arrows and electrician's effect will degrade additional onslaught stacks, so keep that in mind if you are using a reverse onslaught build. Bows, being unique weapons, are able to take advantage of all of the sneak multiplier perk cards in the agility tree. So if you combine Covert Operative, Ninja, and Mr. Sandman, you can achieve a 5.25x multiplier. This can further be compounded by using the Stalker's legendary effect, which will boost this to a whopping 6.25 damage multiplier. My legendary perk cards will be as follows: Follow Through, Legendary Luck, Legendary Intelligence, Legendary Endurance, Legendary Perception, and Legendary Strength. All of these are essential except for Follow Through. This one you technically do not need. You could change this out for something different if you wanted to, but I highly suggest using this because the damage bonus you get from it is absolutely insane, and you'll be missing out on a lot of damage if you take it off. The first build I'll be showing off today will be the low health human build, and the special stats will be as follows. And here is the perk setup for the low health human build. I will briefly give a rundown of the build by looking at the perks that I would call your flex options. So they're not ones that are integral to the build, but they are ones that are preference based. You can swap them out for something else if you prefer that. So going ahead and looking at the flex option for strength, it is for sure going to be strong back. You do not need this perk. You can put it, you can swap it to something else if you want to. Awareness is not 100% necessary on this build. You could swap it out for something like Deal Sealer, which will give you more damage for each impairment your target has. I have this on here just for more comfortability, but again, you do not need it. In Endurance, Fireproof is looking to be changed on the PTS. It will lose its fire resistance bonuses, so depending on how good or bad that change is, this perk may or may not be taken off of the build. For the Charisma tree, you do not need Inspirational. This perk could be swapped out for something else, but for now I have it on here because XP gains are always nice. Taking a look at the intelligence tree, your science perk card is one that you're going to be changing out depending on the type of arrow you are using for your build. If you're using a fire arrow, you're going to be using the pyrotechnician perk, and if you have a plasma arrow, you'll be using the science perk. So some of you eagle-eyed viewers out there may notice that the build does not quite give you that 28 luck threshold you need to crit every other shot. So how do you fix this? Well, it's very simple. You go into a public team, you can do this by yourself if you want to, and voila, 28 luck, so you're able to crit every other shot with one Limit Breaker mod and the Lucky Legendary effect. If you want more agility, you can always put on something like the Nocturnal Legendary effect or even the Unyielding Legendary effect. This will give you slightly more agility and put you over that 30 agility threshold, which many people like to say is like the recommended for stealth. But this can also be circumnavigated by moving some perk points around whenever you're able to get that Raider style under armor, which will give you more luck to play with. So until that point, I just recommend putting on one of these legendary effects and calling it a day. Here are the special values for my full health human build. And here is the perk loadout for the full health human build. We will be using Onslaught and Furious for our damage on this build. So for that, we will be replacing Hat Trick Rank 3 for Hat Trick Rank 1. This will help with the degradation of our stacks. If we have our arrow bouncing here, there, and everywhere, it's going to degrade our stacks very rapidly, and we are doing the reverse onslaught system. So being able to control about how many times our arrow bounces will help us out here and allow us to maintain a higher stack of onslaught as opposed to burning all of our stacks, pretty quickly. And instead, those 2 points from the old hat trick have been put into Deal Sealer to give me plus 10% damage per impairment my target has. In the intelligence tree, I've taken off Nerd Rage. As you can expect, this is a full health build, so you can't really take advantage of Nerd Rage. And I replaced it with Field Surgeon. Now, you could take these 2 points out of intelligence and move them elsewhere, but you will lose a little bit of damage on your science perk cards. In the agility tree, I have dropped Covert Operative. It is the sneak perk card that gives you the smallest amount of damage multiplier, so that is why this one has been dropped. And this is because I am having to make space for all of the Onslaught perk cards, which can be quite costly in themselves. Looking at luck, I have removed the 1-star perk Serendipity and replaced it with Mysterious Stranger. Now, this can be really whatever you want it to be. The important thing is that you cannot take this 1 point of luck out of luck. It needs to stay here so that you're able to crit every other shot.
Scanning.
It's a city full of ghouls. Sorry about that. I had quite the makeover off screen. But getting into the special layout for my Ghoul build, here it is on screen. Here is the perk layout for my Ghoul build. So some quite significant changes on this build compared to the other two, mainly because I will have to be using Ghoul perk cards. But in the endurance tree, I have Radiation Power. You could also put on Glowing Gut. So if you want to take out something like Fireproof or Life Giver, you could put that in there as well to help you maintain your glow stacks. In Charisma, I have picked up Moral Support to help with my Feral meter. In the Agility tree, the Onslaught perk card is still there because I am still using Furious as my main legendary effect. I have picked up Hyper Reflexes for additional evasion chance. And in the Luck tree, I have picked up Faulty Spots and Glowing Criticals because this will help me with my overall damage output. It's kind of insane ghouls have these perks only for themselves. I mean, these perks are insane, so as a human player, I am quite jealous of these 2 perk cards, but what are you going to do about it? So definitely run these, they are extremely powerful. Now, ghouls, with their ability to have basically double health and your access to hyper reflexes, you can really pair this well with the Reflex 3-star legendary mod, which will give you even more evasion chance. And here on screen, you can see just how powerful that effect is. I am sitting here in front of a turret that is shooting me with explosive bullets, and it is taking it forever to break through my glow shield. So yeah, ghoul players, they're just extremely tanky. I mean, if you're crouching, so you're sneaking most of the time anyway, and you're not going to get hit very often, you really are going to be pretty much unkillable in this build, especially if you're able to maintain your glow. Now for a showcase as to what a bow player can really accomplish, this is me defending the drill on the second encounter of their raid by myself. There's no one else in here. I'm just showing the pure power of a bow player. So you're able to stun these enraged mole miners for quite a long time with the cryo arrow plus the electrician's legendary 4-star effect. So I'm just really sitting here defending this drill. They are at their strongest forms, the enraged form. I've been defending the drill for over 5 minutes now by myself. It does have a little bit of damage done to it because I was changing perks on the fly. Now just imagine if there was 2 of us doing this. You have 2 people defending the drill using a bow that has these legendary effects on it. These guys are not going anywhere. They're not getting anywhere near the drill. So if you have 2 people doing this, your drill's going to be a-okay. Your runners can take all day long to get that fuel if they have to, and the drill's going to be just fine. It's just a very strong playstyle. Very good ad clear and ad control, and I really just cannot recommend it enough to anybody trying out the game for the first time or looking for a new build to try out. And for those who are curious, here is the build I was using to defend the drill and the bow as well. This is not an optimized build by any means, so I would not recommend replicating this, but for those who are curious, this is what I was doing. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed the builds. If there's anything that seems to be unclear, or if you have any questions, please leave it down below and I'll get to it as soon as I can. I hope you guys enjoyed the graphics or the quality of the video. If there's anything you guys want to recommend, or if you have any critiques, also let me know down below because I'm always looking to improve in any way I can. If you are looking forward to having more content like this on your subscription feed, feel free to subscribe because I'll be making more videos like this for all the other playstyles in the game. So if that interests you, be sure to look out for those, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.